name is Chantal Obrist. I'm part of an investigative team called Stop All Liars and Frauds against Michael Jackson. And I'm part of a team of three. The head of our team is Matthias Frank, and I work alongside Jochen Haug. We've been investigating against Michael Jacobshagen since about 3 years. And our group is called Stop All Liars and Frauds Against Michael Jackson. So basically, the story I want to break is that Michael Jacobshagen actually met Michael Jackson when he was a very young boy, and he met him only on one encounter, was invited for a circus show, and was invited after the circus show to join him on the suite when Michael was in Munich, Germany. And after that, the next day, he wanted to get access to Michael Jackson once again, and he was told by the security guards that he's not allowed to pass through once again. So he didn't ever get a chance after that meeting and that only day that he met Michael Jackson to see him again. And Matthias Frank was in the very same hotel lobby when Michael Jacobshagen was sent away. So Michael Jacobshagen after that built up a story of a lifelong friendship with Michael Jackson, which is basically based on lies, pure lies. And he was never close to Michael, he had no friendship, and he built up a story around pictures of other boys that were with Michael, pictures where Michael is maybe waving from a balcony, and there's a boy with a cap and you can't see the face very clearly, and he would then claim that was him next to Michael Jackson. And he then now made it close to celebrities. For instance, he met Quincy Jones, so now he claims that he has a management deal with Quincy Jones. He was close to Ola Ray. He was getting close to Catherine Jackson at some point. I will break down that story afterwards. And he uses every opportunity and picture that he has to build up his story and to back his story and claim that he's very tight-knit to the Jackson family and he's very tight-knit to celebrities. And all of that is fake. It's basically a lie. And the reason why we got on board is because Michael Jacobshagen has a history of fraudulent behavior. He has been selling off fedoras, Michael Jackson loafers, masks that he intentionally added makeup to make it look more legit. He would start to copy Michael's handwriting and write tons and tons of handwritten notes and claims they're all real. So what we basically did, we are that team that exposed him on national German television. So he has a history of fraudulent behavior. He's sold off Michael Jackson fedoras and loafers and masks and put intentional makeup on it in order to make it look more legit and used. He started copying Michael Jackson's handwriting and claims that he has tons and tons of handwritten notes from Michael Jackson. What we actually did is expose him on national television in Germany as a fraudster. And you can find the whole documentary where he was set up with a hidden camera, and you can see how he's selling off his fake items on a broadcast that's called Akte. So basically, right now, I think it's really important to get the message across how dangerous this guy has gotten, because it's getting out of hands. he's now claiming that he was abused by Michael. And the reason why he does that is because we actually closed all the doors for him to be able to access fans and sell off fake items. So because he is trying to make business out of anything with the name Michael Jackson, and all his doors basically became shut, he now sees the only and last opportunity in selling off an abuse story. And it's so important that the right people hear of this story and help us stop his actions. It's getting out. It has gotten already out of hand, and it's very important that we get help. So basically, what we were working on is the criminal investigation against him. We were doing a very long research, trying to find all the victims, because he is acting all over the world. He used Facebook basically as his platform to access fans. And then first of all, he was gaining their trust by just interacting with them as a friend, using Michael's friendship or alleged friendship with Michael as a door to win the fans' trust. And sometimes it took a long time to build up a trustworthy friendship before he started to make his offers. And then when he made his first offers, he always claimed it is only one single fedora that he has, or one loafer, and he hardly wants to sell it. But if that person really wants to have it, you know, he could make an exception. So he was convincing his victims that he's not like a regular seller. And he's also claiming that he's tight-knit with the whole Jackson family. There was a time where he was in Los Angeles. At one point, he was in Los Angeles, and he saw a business opportunity to invite Michael Jackson fans and give them tours around the main spots of Michael Jackson. So he would lead them to the house where he passed away, or where Catherine Jackson's house was, or so on. And at some point, he got in contact with the Jackson family associate. He paid bribed money to that person to get access to her, and then was invited in the house. Catherine Jackson had no idea that that's going on, and she welcomed him just like a regular fan, and took a seat in her living room, and he took a picture with her. So he now used that picture along all other pictures that he had. There's even a faked one with Kim Kardashian. He's trying to make it look like he's this guy who has huge contacts in Hollywood, which is all just made up stories. And he uses those pictures to build up credibility in order to lure in the fans into his world, where he then can make money out of them in which way ever. So we exposed him on a TV documentary. It's called Akte, and we exposed him as the fraudster he is. We got him with a hidden camera offering all this Michael Jackson memorabilia. We had victims who testified that they bought loads of signatures and handwritten notes and fedoras and loafers and you name it. And there's a documentary about that, so he's basically already exposed. And so the documentary aired in 2017, and we urged further victims to come forward and contact us. And we've been gathering information and being in contact with victims who didn't want to speak out on camera. And I was basically in the talks with a lot of victims and gathered evidence against Jacobshagen. So now we are at the point where all we gathered, or any additional material that may follow, is passed on through us to the district attorney in Munich, and it's a pending investigation. So, but we are kept on hold, and while the investigation is going on, Jacobshagen has now opened another door. He has now begun to jump on the train ride with Wade Robson and Safechuck, and is claiming that he was abused. So we have we are really urging for the right contacts to reach out to us and pull the fraudster case, or make the fraudster case to go forward in order to take him down and stop him regarding the abuse claims. Because he was, from the onset, not even close to Michael Jackson. So the whole story is biased. And you could put him on a hold and on a stop very swiftly with the right contacts. That's basically my aim with this interview.
If you can tell me, how many times did Michael Jacobshagen meet Michael Jackson?
He met Michael Jackson one time, and one time only. And he has a couple of pictures and film evidence from that very day. It was one day. That's why he's also wearing the same clothes during the whole pictures that he has as an evidence. Everything else he's showing is not him.
Okay. Is it true that Michael invited Jacobshagen to Neverland, to the Madison Square Garden concert? Is that not true?
Nothing is true. None of that is true.
Okay.
He wrote a book, and the book is full of lies. Nothing that happened after this very only day that he met him is true.
So Michael is a con man?
Michael Jacobshagen is a con man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, SN7, which is an Australian broadcasting company.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the trailer in and around the time that Leaving Neverland was released? And they were interviewing many people, some former Neverland staff, and also Michael Jacobshagen.
Yes, I saw that documentary.
And you saw the claims that were made in
yes,
that album.
I saw that.
And obviously we were all flabbergasted when we saw these claims, because there's many times that Michael Jacobshagen has admitted online, in text messages, in audio podcasts, that Michael Jackson had never touched him.
Yes.
Had never done anything untoward to him, and had never molested him. But now, conveniently, in line with the Leaving Neverland hit piece documentary, which has just been released, his claims now fall similarly in line with Wade Robson and James Safechuck,
Mm-hmm.
And maybe some few others in the background. So in light of the new information that you're presenting to us, that, well, at least in this case, we've got enough evidence to charge and convict. Am I right in saying that?
It's an ongoing investigation, so I can't confirm whether he's gonna get convicted. That's up to a judge to decide. I cannot make promises. I mean, we can do just so much, and pass on information and evidence, but then he has to be tried in a court of law, and there it's not up to me to make that decision. But at least we can try whatever we can do to stop him.
Well, what we're doing now is educating the public on the various different men that have, you know, either met Michael Jackson once or spent time at Neverland or whatever the case may be. But you know, the goal has always been to make money off of Michael Jackson's name or his image, and at any cost. There is really no moral compass with any of these people making claims against Michael Jackson.
I basically have a friend who was with Michael Jacobshagen at the gates of Neverland after Michael Jackson passed away, and she is willing to testify that he then told her that he has never been inside. So all the claims he makes that he was ever at the ranch, we have a witness that can testify that he confirmed to her that that was never the case before he started claiming that he was at the ranch and he was abused and everything. So Jacobshagen, what people have to understand is Jacobshagen changes his stories every day. He changes his stories as it suits him and as the wind is going. Yeah. So that may confuse some fans when they are in contact now after the documentary, the latest interview aired, and 2 days later he states he was never abused, and 3 days later he's in an interview saying he was abused. That's basically his pattern. He changes the story as it suits him, wherever the money is.
Okay, so can you tell me, what were you thinking, you know, when you first saw the SN7 trailer and then furthermore the full 1 hour long documentary, when we got to see what Michael Jacobshagen was saying in its entirety, the new claims that he was making about Michael Jackson?
Yeah, that it's just a plain lie. It's just as much as a lie as it was a lie that he was ever a friend of Michael. So vice versa, it's a lie. Okay. Yeah.
In terms of, you know, just the fact of SN7, I'm not sure if you knew of them or heard of them before. You know,
never heard of them before.
But you know, just why they would do this. Obviously, they're trying to jump on the bandwagon of Leaving Neverland, and they're trying to construct their own documentary to almost complement Leaving Neverland, and trying to almost produce new claims and new interviews that people have never seen before. But in the end, all of these people could just be telling lies in the same exact way that Michael Jacobshagen has been conning the community. And we've gone as far as to being able to capture video footage of him in the act. Now it would be great if we could also have video footage of Wade Robson and Safechuck and every other person that we are accusing of telling malicious lies against Michael Jackson in an attempt to destroy his legacy. But what we have done so far, thanks to your good work and other people that you are working with, is that we've kind of lifted the veil off of how the media and the press are using some of these people that are making claims against Michael Jackson. They will be all too willing to give them a platform, bring them on their news networks, and broadcast them to millions of people making claims about this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, lots of stuff that they say is unverified, and the very impartial to letting people see, you know, the whole truth behind the situation. For example, if you're going to put Michael Jacobshagen on TV, then why not show the full documentary made by Acti as well to complement, you know, the decisions that people might be making about this character. But they won't do that because they're trying to sell a narrative that goes in line with this Leaving Neverland and the myth that Michael Jackson is a paedophile and a child molester.
Yes.
So, I mean, I remember my feelings when I saw SN7. I was very upset that another news company was taking this stance with, you know, the Leaving Neverland trend that is going. And then I did some investigation of myself, and then I found this documentary randomly where Jacobshagen is being exposed. I didn't even know of Jacobshagen. I found out about him like a week before. He was doing a podcast and he was giving Michael Jackson the thumbs up, and now we're seeing him telling either the truth or telling lies on I don't know, international television, let's say. and it makes no sense, especially to the people who knew of him. So now everyone can see that he's changed his tune, but you've uncovered the evidence which shows that he is a complete con man.
Absolutely.
There is no disputing that fact. We have him on video conning innocent Michael Jackson fans, and these are Michael Jackson fans that have actually met him, I understand. I saw the one person... Some of them, yeah. The one person that I saw from Switzerland who actually met Michael, you know, was trying to acquire genuine Michael Jackson, you know, memorabilia or items that he owned, and Michael Jacobshagen has been conning him, trying to sell him this lie that these items are genuine, which is wrong for so many reasons. But now that you're gonna go on TV and try and sell this myth and add credibility to what Wade Robson and James Safechuck are doing to destroy Michael Jackson, and
it has gone to another level now.
Yeah, it's gone to another level, and this guy almost needs to be put in front of a jury now and judged and go to prison. There needs to be repercussions for doing this.
That's our hopes, yeah.
So, you know, right now as investigators, as journalists, as Michael Jackson fans, we've got the media collectively trying to spin these allegations that Michael Jackson is a paedophile, a child molester. They're trying to get the whole world to mute Michael Jackson right now, and we are trying to fight against this concept. And right now, what you have produced to us is, you know, a wonderful interview where you are sharing the knowledge that not many people have seen, not many people have heard, and I'm pretty sure that with your testimony and the fact that it's actually true, we're not making this up right now, people would be able to make a better decision around exactly what is happening now with Leaving Neverland. A lot of people, as we can see from the feedback, has been that, you know, they've been able to see through Leaving Neverland. They can see that some things do not make sense about, you know, the documentary. Some of the obvious lies that are being told, some of the reactions, you know, that you would never expect from someone who is telling a story about child abuse. So with this interview, you know, we hope that they'll be more informed to be able to make a better decision about whether these people can be trusted.
I have two more things I want to say. One is that I want to urge journalists who give fraudsters a platform to go that far, to do their research, to be careful what they are doing. Second is Jacobshagen has a history on threatening people. I would like to urge the journalists to do their research before they give a platform to con artists like Michael Jacobshagen, and allow them to change people's opinion in the whole world. They're giving criminals a platform here. And secondly, I would want to shout out to all of Michael Jacobshagen's victims to come forward and not be afraid, because he has a tendency of threatening people with legal letters and lawyers, and that's how he shushed a lot of victims to come forward. So don't be afraid to call him out as what he is. Don't be afraid, or come to us. Yeah.
Okay. There is another problem that has arisen from the fact that these claims have been made, and a lot of people are not believing James Safechuck and Wade Robson. It's, you know, it's going to affect the Me Too movement, and has already kind of split, you know, the Me Too movement, because people are just flat out saying that you must believe victims. Of course, you can see how this is also a wonderful opportunity for con artists and con men to make money, and a whole load of money, because now if the whole world just has to flat out believe someone because they say so, well, this is a very big problem.
Yeah, it's a very sensitive subject. Don't mistake Michael Jackson's supporters to be insensitive on this subject, but be very careful who you trust, because wherever there's media, you give also con artists a platform to use a very sensitive subject for their own causes. And we are not all blindsided, and some of us really have knowledge, like I have in my field with the Jacobshagen case, and others in their own field. And we are people with common senses coming to a conclusion. And that's basically a very bad move from the media to jump on anyone who makes a claim for such an important movement like the Me Too movement.
Of course.
Yeah, so we are on the, don't get us wrong, we are with victims, but we are with real victims. And I cannot talk much about Wade Robson and Safe Chuck. I can have my personal opinion, but I know for a fact that I can speak out on regarding Jacobshagen. And he's part of a problem that we have here. Yeah.
See, I wonder if we had the same investigative journalism that you have done so well with your team on Wade Robson and Safe Chuck, and not just left it up to the likes of Dan Reed and the media and the press.
Yeah.
Maybe we would have encountered something already on these two, which shows that, you know, they are not telling the truth or the whole truth.
Hat Michael Jackson sich ihm sexuell genähert?
Da war niemals die Hand, wo sie nicht hätte sein sollen. Niemals. I was on this side and he was behind me and he put his arm around me.
Pressed up against you.
Yes.
He uses any opportunity, wherever he sees an opportunity to add to his story or to make use of it in order to further fraud somebody or make money out, he would do so. And another story of that is the story where he went into the mausoleum, the tomb where Michael Jackson is laid to rest. And he took a German tabloid journalist into the place where Michael Jackson's body is laying. I mean, if nothing is causing doubts on anyone, I mean, what's your motivation on that if you called yourself a friend, which he claimed for a long time that he was? So, I mean, his whole story is biased from A to Z, and his true colors are showing in so many ways.
Are you able to recount in longer fashion the story of how he got in to meet Catherine? Do you know that full story?
Yeah, there was, I wouldn't want to mention names because I'm afraid of getting sued from Jackson. Okay. But I know it was an associate to the family, or somebody who was close to Catherine Jackson, who had access to the house and to the keys and was able to talk her into meeting fans. And he did, and Catherine Jackson thought that she's doing it for free and she's doing it out of goodwill, and behind her back that person was taking money from fans. Okay. So Jacobshagen basically paid that guy to meet Catherine Jackson, and Catherine didn't know nothing about it. Took that photo with him and let him sit together with her on her couch in her house. And a couple of days later, she heard of that photo shot with the tabloid reporter at Michael's grave, and she was heartbroken because she had no idea who she took a picture with just a couple of days before.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Quincy, it's just a random picture basically that he's got.
Yeah, with Quincy, it's a random picture he's got because Quincy Jones was, I think, in Stuttgart, I think somewhere in Germany at a venue, and he was just there as a fan and asked him for a picture and an autograph, and now he uses that picture and the autograph, claiming he's having management deals with him or whatever. He's a business partner of Quincy Jones. I would wonder whether Quincy Jones is not interested in what Jacobshagen is claiming to be.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Kim Kardashian, this is a Photoshop picture.
That is a photoshopped picture.
It's not real.
It's not real.
Okay, okay.
And we just got him last week on a phone conversation, offering Kim Kardashian signatures. So he's gone further than just Michael Jackson memorabilia. Yeah, so when he was inviting fans over to Los Angeles and doing those tours, he would keep them on hold and would be claiming that he's in touch with Paris Jackson, with Prince Jackson, that tomorrow they're gonna meet, and then he would pretend like Paris postponed again because she's so busy, and they would meet the next day. And I have chat protocols as an evidence of his claims that he's in contact with Paris, with Prince, with Catherine constantly. So he is really a huge, tremendous threat to the Jackson family. And I really, really want to alert the whole family of how dangerous this guy is. I really want to alert the family, the Jackson family, how dangerous Michael Jacobshagen is, and also the media and the whole world of what he's capable of doing, and they're giving him a platform. And I really want to make everyone know that this needs to stop.
Lastly, what are your thoughts on just the media in general and how they have taken this Leaving Neverland and spun it using the tricks and the methods that they do to the general public, trying to get them to believe that Michael Jackson was a paedophile with this one-sided documentary?
Well, I believe that on such a serious subject, you can just not do a one-sided documentary, especially if you have testimonies of people who have already been known for certain lies. Whether you believe them or you don't believe them is up to you, but at least do your research and don't leave out certain things that are important to the story, because you know, Wade Robson was dating Brandy Jackson at the point in time where he made claims of a love story that he had with Michael Jackson, where Michael Jackson was trying to exclude him and have him for himself and separate him from the mother. And he basically was setting up a date between Brandy Jackson and Wade Robson, and the whole family was there for them to meet. It's totally left out. So if you're leaving out important stories, because if she was the girlfriend of him, she spent a lot of time with him, she's been laying next to him at a certain point in time in a relationship, you would think she would have once had heard something about it or suspected something about it. And there's a testimony of Brandy Jackson, which is very credible, and it leaves questions. It leaves questions to why are you leaving out something if your story is that credible? Then you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to hide.
Of course.
I'm Chantal Obrist. I'm 40 years old. I'm a mother of 2 children, and I'm a regular person working in the insurance sector. And I've been a Michael Jackson fan since 1987, and I've met Michael Jackson twice. I've spoken to him several times. I've been in lots of concerts. I did a lot of research. I was at the trial 2005. I was inside the courtroom. I was by coincidence in the courtroom when the evidence, the so-called evidence, was discussed. And I know for a fact that there was no child porn or any pedophilia material discussed when the evidence was presented in court. And I think that's a very important fact as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my last question is, what was it like when you met Michael Jackson? Both times.
Michael was a very warm, kind-hearted soul. He was very receiving and welcoming of his fans. His fans meant the world to him. I had not one single encounter with him where he felt that we are a disturbance. He was always very appreciative and very caring and loving, and my meetings with Michael I treasure for the rest of my life as one of the most special moments.
Wow. And in your heart, do you think Michael is guilty or innocent?
I believe he's innocent.
And that's a cut, that's amazing. Alright. We did it. We did it, we did it, we did it.
You've done a really good job.
Yeah.
Really?
You are very good in front of the camera, you know. I was even looking at you in there. It flatters you, camera. You look good.
Really?
Yeah.